Hey everyone, Ariel Adams here with aBlogtoWatch. Please subscribe to our videos on YouTube and like this video if you find it useful. This is a review of the Christopher Ward C8 Power Reserve Chronometer. This is part of the overall C8 collection of pilot watches. And this is a cool timepiece at a pretty decent value. It's not for everyone, but I found a lot to like here. So this watch begins with a version of the brand's SH21 movement. We can call this an in-house movement because Christopher Ward purchased a company that makes it, and it was designed, I believe, for the brand. It's a little bit confusing because there's been different executions of the SH21, and they're all called the SH21, even though they have different complications. Some of them are automatic, some of them are manually wound. So it's good to make it clear to consumers that these watches are all based on the same architecture, but I think that the brand should be a little bit more descriptive of the fact that these are different, give them some type of sub-name. So this particular execution of the SH21 is manually wound, has this cool kind of matte black industrial looking bridge structure. It really allows you to see the two large mainspring barrels. There's obviously, of course, the spinning balance wheel there. And on the dial, you have complications including the time with subsidiary seconds dial, date, and a power reserve indicator. And if you know anything about the SH21, you'll know that in addition to being a 4 Hz movement, it's also a 5-day power reserve movement. So that's pretty cool. It does take a lot of winding, though, to get to that 5 days. You can see here I'm winding it, and that red power reserve hand is moving ever so slowly, but that's fine. I mean, it's actually kind of a pleasure to wind these watches. That's really the point of why people buy a lot of the manually wound watches. I firmly believe that the only, well, I don't want to say the only acceptable, but for me, my personal preference with manually wound watches is ones that have a power reserve indicator. I liken it to driving a car without knowing how much gas you have left. That would be pretty weird. So it's similar here. You want to know how much power you have left so you know when to wind it. Also, if you're a stickler for accuracy, what you want to do sometimes is never have it fully wound or fully unwound. Somewhere in the middle is the sweet zone of accuracy. They did something interesting here with the date. And what they did is it's a little bit open, but not really. So you can see here sort of that it's a semi-opaque disc, and there's like a yellowish tan color there behind, but the current date is in the middle, and you can see how it turns there. So you can't really see the upper and lower discs. You can just see the one which is highlighted behind. This isn't the first time I've seen anything exactly like this, but I think it's done pretty well. And I like it here, especially a lot more than if it was actually an open date disc and you saw all three of the dates, which really annoys me and serves no purpose. This is also one of the few times I will accept skeletonized hands because they are quite legible. Christopher Ward says that it was inspired on some vintage British military aircraft instrument clocks, and I think that it's not too far of a stretch to see that. The matte finishes on the dial make for a very legible look. The colors are quite nice. The entire case is obviously matte black. It's 44 millimeters wide steel. Let's put it on the wrist. I should also mention that there are a few different strap options. They're all this kind of, I'll just call them rough, unfinished leather. There's a black one, there's this darker brown one, and there's a lighter brown one. I actually took photographs of it on the lighter brown strap, but it was actually too big for me, so I had to have them send me the small strap, which is always embarrassing when I have to go to a brand and be like, you know, your strap is too big, can you send me a smaller one? I always want it to be the other way around, saying like, oh yeah, your strap is too tiny for my wrist, but I don't have the biggest wrists. But without the biggest wrist, this 44 millimeter wide watch still looks pretty good. It's about the maximum size that I can wear. You can see that those lugs are all the way on the edges, but I actually like that one. It really fills up my wrists like that. Also, this nice matte look has a great instrumental feel to it. This is also the newer Christopher Ward logo, but rather than the asymmetric orientation of the words, it is the symmetric orientation, which I happen to like a lot more. So I feel that this is a good use of that new logo, which also looks good on the case. Nice timepiece, not too thick actually. And again, the reduced thickness has to do with the removal of the automatic rotor in the movement, which again allows the movement to be thinner, and by virtue of that, the case gets to be thinner as well. Again, this is the Christopher Ward C8 Power Reserve Chronometer. I should also probably say that the movement is cost chronometer certified. That's in the name. I think it also says on the dial. Yes, it does, in the subsidiary seconds hand. And the price is a quite reasonable $2,060 US, slightly different in other currencies. I think in British pounds, it's 1,550 pounds. Good value for the money, nice timepiece. You see the full review on aBlogtoWatch. Thanks.